All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Dr. Greg O'Neill talking about the function of your spine versus waiting to be in pain. A lot of you are in limbo out there. Well, here's the mindset part. Let's just go real high level, I guess. The pain of changing, is it too great for you? You have the pain of staying the same and the pain of changing. What is greater? Okay? When the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of changing, then people will change. Okay? The issue with a lot of people is their pain tolerance mentally is too high. Their pain tolerance mentally is too high. People wear the word pain tolerance like a badge of honor for their physical body. I have a high pain tolerance. I'm like, it's not a good thing. It's a double-edged sword. It's like you might not feel pain, but you're growing an underlying problem. It's getting worse. Like imagine they had a disc bulge or disc herniation. Well, I don't feel it. It's fine. Well, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. One day you go to pick up a pencil and you blow your back out, and now you're in a wheelchair. You know, that's painful. All right, so let's talk. Let's sit here for a second. The pain of staying the same, the pain of changing. And you guys, if you want, if you're a visual person, I'm more of like an auditory person, so like obviously, because I'm talking on the radio, words are important to me, the way words are said. My wife is more of a visual person. So if we're talking to each other, like oftentimes, I don't know if you're like me, oftentimes I'll look away, and that's kind of where I have to do something, like I'm listening, and with the words, the way, the tone and tonality, way that is very important to me. Versus my wife, she's very visual. She'll say things like, would you picture this with me? Would you look at this? Can you come see this with me? Like if we're picking like deck furniture, come on outside. I want to visualize this. I want you to see what I'm talking about. And I'm looking at like a blank, I'm looking at concrete. I can't see what she's talking about. But that's where she's so good. She's like a designer. She's like, do you see how this table would go here, and then this would go here, and then this would go here, and that? And I'm like, no. Versus if she just said to me, like, just spelled it out, like, here's the following items we need, and, like, maybe wrote it down, or I needed to, like, be listed out. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little dumb, but you realize that people have different styles of understanding, visual, auditory, and aesthetic, okay? And what we need to understand is that, like, you being focused on where you are, like writing it down, whether you write it down, whether you say it out loud, whatever you need to do to get yourself to feel it, you just have to do it. So you could have a heading. One is staying the same. The other heading is changing. What happens if you stay the same? Or where are you at now? And you got to be real with yourself. You could say things like, I'm 20 pounds overweight. I am in 7 out of 10 back pain. I have sciatica, a neuropathy. I have headaches every day. I have very little to no energy. I'm not sleeping well. I'm on a CPAP machine. I have breathing issues. I have allergies, asthma, type 2 diabetic, high blood pressure. I don't know, whatever you're dealing with, you write those down. What's your picture like right now for your health? That's staying the same. And then what happens if you don't change? This is the thing, is people underestimate that things will actually get worse. They don't just it's not status quo. It's called the normalcy bias. The normalcy bias states that if people have never experienced something before, they'll assume it won't happen and that things will just kind of stay the same. We got to see this in real time. Remember Hurricane Sandy hit New Jersey area, and the governor had to go on TV and was yelling at people to get off the beach. There was people surfing as the hurricane was coming in. Now, if that hurricane was hitting like Florida or Georgia or South Carolina, they'd already be evacuated 100 miles away because they've seen what can happen before. Versus in like New Jersey, that area, Delaware, they've not seen a lot of hurricanes, so it's kind of like, well, it won't be that bad. We've never seen that before. It'll be fine. They'd yell at them, get off the beach. You will die if you don't evacuate. It's the normalcy bias. And people have that normalcy bias for their life. They're like, oh, I'm just in a little bit of pain. I can live with it, though. It's fine. I get up and move a little bit. I get step in the morning. That stiffness goes away. It's going to be fine. I'm okay. It's called denial. Now, You go to the other side. Well, first of all, just to get back here, so what happens if you don't fix it? Well, I can tell you if you don't want to tell yourself, okay? Heart disease turns into heart attack. Diabetes turns into neuropathy, turns into like losing function in your legs, turns into obesity. Obesity turns into diabetes. Actually, in type 2 diabetes, a lot of times turns into type 3 diabetes, also known as Alzheimer's disease or memory loss. You can look that up, type 3 diabetes. They're now calling Alzheimer's disease in a lot of ways type 3 diabetes. It's a new emerging concept. What does back pain turn into? Turns into worse back pain. Turns into sciatica, tingling down the leg, shooting down the leg, bulging disc, herniation, degeneration, arthritis, spinal stenosis, surgery, fused discs, opening up your back, being bedridden for weeks or months, laid up on surgery, not being able to pick up grandkids, not being able to golf, not being able to do the things you want to do. That's what that leads to.